time stops at these days, and the history stops in respect to the will of the nation when it wants to survive, and the nation when it refuses changing its future and challenging it. With the long history of Egypt, our nation has been through such days, one of which, and the greatest of which, is the 30th of June 2013, that would always be there in our hearts, a generation after the other. The revolution of the 30th of June is a turning point in the history of this beloved country, a moment during which the Egyptians chose the future that they accept for their children and grandchildren. On this day, they selected the modern civil state with its Egyptian national identity that enjoys tolerance and openness to the whole world, a moment during which the Egyptians announced to the whole world that their patience was strength, in fact, and their silence was a strong will, and their acceptance was the wisdom with time. In the 30th of June revolution, the voice of Egypt was sounding everywhere, saying that it is bigger than being hijacked, greater than the imagination of anyone that he can deceive its great people. Over the days of this glorious revolution, the Egyptians wrote for themselves all over the villages and cities of Egypt a direct constitution emanating from their popular conscience, with the title "Egypt is for Egyptians," and its destiny is only decided by its beloved and devoted people, the great people of Egypt. The spirit of the 30th of June revolution, with the challenge and the ability to defeat the impossible, is considered to be the emblem of our work up till today. It is the light that guides us and inspires us in confronting the current challenges. After we succeeded, thanks to God and the will of the Egyptians to overcome challenges, people and the conspirators thought would break us and put an end to us, and unfortunately they hoped so. But we were able to confront all that. We faced terrorist attacks, and we faced a conspiracy between the powers of destruction and hate and evil that wanted to destroy our country. These waves has been destroyed on the strong rocks of the Egyptian strength and will. As the evil people have failed before, they are going to fail once more with our unity. And we confronted an unprecedented economic status, so we were supported by Allah, and we have united against all these challenges as we taught humanity, civilization and modernization before. We are now giving a role model in realizing the importance of the state and the homeland and protecting it and enduring all difficulties to achieve that. We did not suffice by facing these challenges to postpone the path of progress and development, but we want on two tracks together: survival and construction, the survival of the state and establishing its pillars and building the future at the same time. So the hands of Egyptians, whether men and women, moved everywhere in Egypt, constructing, building and establishing new pillars for our glory. And this enormous effort exerted by Egypt over the previous years won't be wasted. It is now our support in confronting two of the most difficult international crises, the most grave ones worldwide, they are the pandemic, COVID-19, and the Russian-Ukrainian crisis. Of course, you all realize the volume of harm inflicted upon countries that have more developed economies due to this pandemic, and the stop of the world supply chains in addition to the war, and the unprecedented crisis in food supply related to it, be it regarding the supply or the soaring prices. And I honestly can tell you that if it was not for the national program of economic reform implemented successfully and accurately in Egypt since the year 2016, and this is acknowledged by everybody, and if it was not for what was attained during the previous years through the accelerated development efforts, then facing the repercussions of international developments would have been even more difficult. The great people of Egypt, your country is moving on the right track with a strong national will that wants only public and general interest and puts before its eyes your aspirations to a decent life and a safe, prosperous future. And as Egypt has overcome all difficulties throughout its great history, I'm fully confident that it would be able to overcome the current international crises with their local repercussions, and it will continue unstoppably its movement towards a safe country, a stable, vivid community, and a developed country. And these are the aspirations of the Egyptians, and I look forward to it along with them, and God willing, success would be with us. At the end of my speech, the great people of Egypt, while we're talking today, we need to mention the great people, our heroes who sacrificed their lives to give us this great gift, the gift of the country and the homeland that we thank Allah for day and night. We want to remember our beloved martyrs from the armed forces and the police. And we would like to say to their families and beloved ones, your sons are still alive in heaven, and they are alive in our hearts and in the soul of this great country that would never forget their sacrifices. Thank you and many happy returns. And may Egypt always enjoy peace, safety, and progress. And with you all, long live Egypt, long live Egypt, long live Egypt. And peace be upon you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just brought you President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's address.